Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Alex Rawitz. I'm one of the co-founders of Demo. Quick question, who here has heard of Demo? Maybe raise your hand. Okay, only a few people, so that's good. We get to tell a lot more people about Demo. Well, we're building an open, connected vehicle network. In fact, we launched Demo about 2 years ago, and so far today have connected over 70,000 cars. But really our mission is to help people get the most out of their vehicles and to become, to be in control of their own data. People talk a lot about IoT and blockchain, and cars are actually the most expensive IoT device that most people own. The automobile industry is about 5 times bigger than all other devices combined. So when we talk about IoT and blockchain, we really should be talking about cars. A few other facts about the industry. Cars are data centers on wheels. They produce about 25 gigabytes of data per hour. And one of the big problems is that the industry today is very siloed. If you've been in crypto for a long time, you understand that one of the principles of crypto is to break down these barriers, to break down these walled gardens between institutions, and that exists in the automobile and the mobility industry today. They're also very expensive cars. They, between insurance and maintenance and other factors, they cost consumers a lot of money. And a lot of the transactions that are involved in the consumer life cycle can be made more efficient with data. So what's the building block of that journey? Well, it starts with actually creating a vehicle identity that is permanent and lives on chain. So Demo has already launched that standard, that vehicle identity. We have, as I mentioned, about 70,000 cars already. And over the course of the life cycle of the vehicle, from the moment it's created through maintenance, through sold, so when it's being sold, the history of that car is appended, and the achievements and the credentials around it can be appended to that NFT. We're building a handful, or actually a number of pieces here. We're not just an infrastructure project, we're not just an application project, we're actually building a number of pieces in the stack. So we start with the infrastructure layer, really the Demo protocol. This is where we create that digital twin for the vehicle. You can think about it as almost the Ethereum layer, but for cars. We're also building some of the infrastructure to support application developers building on top of Demo. Those would be the APIs and the SDKs that developers need to use to create applications. And we've also launched one of the first apps on Demo, the Demo mobile app. One of the things that we're doing is really serving as the glue between the automotive industry, many components, and users. So on the top left, we help users actually connect their car to Demo. That might be through a hardware device, which we're making at least one in collaboration with JDI. It could be through APIs. Users get to use a variety of different user interfaces to look at their data. And then they can connect to automotive services like maintenance and financing and eventually socials and games. We really look at a key element of what we're building as a flywheel. Developers want to build applications for many users. I think we all understand that users go where they find utility and developers go where they find users, and that's part of a ecosystem that's in balance. So as we've added more cars, we've seen more and more developers show up to develop applications for those vehicles. And part of the network is the Demo token, which is really a utility token for accessing the Demo network. We've covered some of these stats, 70,000 cars connected today, but one of the things that I think is worth highlighting is that that represents over $1 billion worth of assets in those vehicles. And a pretty similar, or about almost $1 billion worth of annual spend on those cars. Again, this is a really expensive problem for users, and we can bring a lot of efficiency to how users are managing their vehicles. Our long-term goal really is to enable developers to build applications and really create magical experiences for automotive and IoT projects. So I'm going to talk a little bit today about some of the developer tools that we have and the products that we're releasing that are going to help developers do that. This is a $1 trillion industry. Some of the things we're excited about are seeing new utilities built for drivers, but also social applications. And of course, one area that we think would be very, very big for the auto industry is AI, particularly around predictive maintenance or other problems that users face as they manage their vehicles. One of the first things that developers can do on Demo is actually consume our data streams. So depending on what you're interested in, if you're a developer, you can actually pay to consume data directly from users supplied by this user-owned network. Some of the streams that we're seeing today are EV charging data, the occurrences of maintenance problems, and one of the most exciting ones, at least for us, that we thought was really interesting is using Demo devices to actually map cell coverage networks. So this is a project that's using our data today that's built an interactive map to actually better understand where there's coverage from cell towers and where there isn't. We're also helping a bunch of companies build new types of user applications in the automotive industry. Many people that want to develop automotive applications need to grapple with the problems of developing connections to cars. So we've put in a lot of the hard work of actually building API connections and building hardware and managing hardware connections that allow developers to tap directly into vehicle data. They can also tap directly into the historical data, and we've made it really, really easy. From our mobile app, users have a really easy time getting into other apps as well. We're really building a marketplace within the Demo mobile app. They can tap a few clicks, share some verified data, and then they're using a different application that's built on top of Demo and consuming data from the protocol. Another example, a product that's going to be releasing probably in the next couple of months, is a fleet interface built by one of our partners from AutoPie.io. So on the left, you can see our mobile app, 2 vehicles, and then on the right, you can see a more robust interface, the same 2 vehicles, but it has more detail in the overview and the diagnostics. And this becomes extremely simple and valuable to users who can actually flip between different applications tailored to their needs. One of the things that we'll start to roll out later this year is the ability for enterprises and developers to become their own clients of Demo, full clients, basically be able to connect cars on their own as well. And that will help accelerate the rate at which we're able to serve new. Oh, and last but not least, of course, we have a lot of new hardware coming. Long term, the auto industry has a lot of different aftermarket hardware devices. Many of you may be familiar with those. Many of those can serve as Demo devices and contribute data to the Demo. So what's the summary? Like, what does all of this mean? I tend to think of this as a journey from sort of the analog era of vehicles through to the Web 3.0 App Store for cars era. Cars started very low tech. Really the only technology in the vehicle was what was in the car itself, maybe some simple computers in the vehicle. Gradually, we added some more computers into the cars. They became connected through simple services like SMS. Today, we are seeing, of course, Tesla has software updates. All their recalls are just software updates for their car, and they're hoping to achieve full self-driving through software updates. But none of what's been shipped so far is really truly an open and permissionless system. And that's where we believe what we're building can come in and really give any user with any car the experience of downloading new software and trying new technology for their vehicle. So one of the things that I'm here to encourage people to do is to start building on Demo. I've actually met a handful of people so far this week that are interested in building applications on top. One actually showed me a demo, which was really exciting. We have close to 100,000 cars, verified VIN, odometer, trips, error codes, and telemetry on dozens of data points. So we're really starting to work with dozens, maybe even hundreds of developers at this point that are willing or excited about building on top of Demo. And that's it. If you'd like to get involved, I'm going to be here to chat and talk hardware to for the ecosystem, building applications, or just becoming a community member. We're really excited to be here and thank our sponsors for having us.